This is the Broker News Podcast. We believe there is never too late to start a business. We did it. We turned entrepreneurs later in life. So why not you? What are you afraid of? Dare to live with purpose, no matter the age.
Hi, today's podcast is with a lady again. I'd like to introduce to you Andreea Prange from AXA. Mirela, please start with your questions.
It's very easy for me because I know Andrea for quite some time now. I think Andrea, we've met 6 years ago when I was just landing in Switzerland, and I was super happy to see a fellow Romanian and someone working in the insurance industry. Nevertheless, I am the one who knows you pretty well, but Andrea, please tell our listeners who have just clicked on this podcast, who are you and what is your background?
Yes, thank you, Mirela. You said it. I'm Romanian, but also proud Swiss. Been living in Switzerland since 11 years now. I am a so-called insurance executive. I've been working for AXA now for more than 4 years, and I'm responsible for strategy, customer, and marketing there. My background is more diverse than insurance. I've been working in the telecommunication area also for more than 10 years, and I started my career before that in consulting. I'm also a mother of 2 wonderful children that are also keeping me busy, but I really love the mixture of having a lot of work at home and in the office.
You made some changes some years ago from Zurich Insurance to AXA Switzerland. What is the purpose of your work at AXA, if you can tell us a bit more, and what makes you jump off the bed in the morning? What motivates you the most in your work?
Well, the good thing about finance industry, and especially insurance, is that we have a power to move lives. And AXA is a company that has put it in its purpose on a global level to do something for the society, for human progress. We are living this in Switzerland as well. My job with what I do, being responsible for customer and for marketing and for strategy, I'm right in the middle of that. So this is really motivating, getting up every morning and knowing you can do something for the others. But what also makes me jump out of the bed in the morning are my kids, obviously. Everybody who has them knows there's a lot to do. That's the first thing that you have to take care in the morning. But in general, I wake up in a very good mood every day, yes.
Oh, lucky you, lucky you. Binci?
Okay, before we continue with your questions, Mirela, I want to ask a little thing. Andrea, you are a member of the board of trustees at AXA and Kickstart Innovation. You are a member of the supervisory board of Bank Claire as well.
This is my second job, so you are right. For the AXA pension, I work as an AXA executive, and also with Kickstart Innovation. This is something that I do as an AXA executive as well. I've been active for Bank Claire for 7 years now. It's my second job, and it's something that I really love doing. It's giving me insights in a different industry, also in a different region, because with my insurance activities, I've been a lot in Zurich and in Winterthur, but Basel is a different world. So I take quite a joy out of that, and I'm very thankful that I can do both. Yes.
You're super positive today, and I love seeing that. Let's go to another topic, Andrea. We spoke several times a lot about leadership values, inclusion, diversity. I know this is a topic which is very close to your heart. Tell us more about Andrea, the leader. What would your team members say about you?
Well, every time I get asked this question, my answer is, well, you probably have to ask my team members what they would say about me. I know what I would say about them. I love working with them. I have a high-performing team, very much results-driven, but also very much centered around the human factor. So it's a pleasure working with them. Of course, my leadership style, for me, it's actually very simple. I treat people and I lead people the way I want to be treated and I want to be led. Being aware that every individual is different and maybe they're in a different stage in their lives, or maybe they have a certain situation right now in their lives that you really have to consider. So yeah, do to the others as you want to be done to you, and have the human in the center.
Oh, that's wonderful. We've spoken with several executive women so far, and we share quite the same values.
you have to say leading, right? Because officially there's one position, but actually I don't see myself necessarily as only the leader of this team. I see myself as a part of it. And I think we all learn a lot and develop ourselves a lot in the work that we have. So yes, very positive as well. But Mirela, you have reached me on a day where I'm really positive and I'm in a very good mood. So there will be lots of positive statements today from me.
I love that. I love that. I don't mind. Let's speak about a topic which I know you are very passionate about, and that is financial inclusion, because this is one of your strong motivators for the work you do, and the same here, same on my side. We have spoken in the past a lot about women, financial independence and financial inclusion, and I know you're an advocate for equality in opportunities. I've recently came across a study saying that 1.4 billion people are still unbanked. 740 million of them are women, actually. And these are official statistics. And when we speak about unbanked, it means that they don't have access to a bank account, but they also don't have access to mobile money applications, which are frequently found in the global south. Tell us some more about your perspective on women, financial inclusion, and financial independence.
That's very interesting statistics that you have. I think the reality in Switzerland is a little bit different in terms of access to bank accounts, for instance. But nevertheless, I think there are also some points, some things that point out. In my job, I have a lot to do with customer insights, so a lot of statistics. I find it really amazing that many people who are not really aware about their financial situation. So also when they look at their pension, I think 1/3 of the Swiss people do not know how high their pension would be. It would be interesting to know, Mirela, if you know how high your pension will be. Probably yes. You're an insurance executive. Yes, you're saying yes. But that's not the case for 30% of the people. And at the same time, they expect a certain level out of this pension that they have. So there's a big gap here. And if you look a little bit deeper into that, the gap is bigger for women. We all know there's a pension gap between men and women. Women have an average of 30% lower pension in old age. They also are more, not victim, but they come into poverty when they get older. In this culture, people don't talk about it, right? So it's not really well known. And it's not just women, but a lot of women. So what I also found really astounding is we have also digged into numbers, and 25% of the Swiss population has difficulties meeting the ends at the end of the month, right? So they really live from one month to the other, and it's 25% in a rich country. Switzerland is one of the richest countries in Europe. I didn't think it would be that much. And for these people, if something happens, like their washing machine breaks or they have a car accident or something unplanned happens, it's really a big financial problem. And this is where we as an insurance can come and support these people. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't really know about all those statistics in Switzerland. Thank you for mentioning that. This is a good bridge to the next question. Maybe that's a rhetoric question, because the answer is quite obvious. Do you think we do enough financial education in schools or other channels? Because it's not only women, but if I look at children nowadays, I don't think we have financial education in schools curriculum.
I mean, if I compare it to where I grew up, or also you grew up, I think there's more than before, and I think there's slowly it comes more focus on financial education in schools, but it's definitely not enough. I think that the children should learn also in school things like how to make a budget, how to know what's in the budget, what's above the budget, to know that at the end of the month they will eventually, when they are grown ups, have to pay for taxes at the end of the year, actually. How to save and also how to invest. These are really basics that some children learn at home, and I think it's also the main responsibility of the parents to bring this financial education to the children. But some don't, and then when they go out in the world, they have to pay their taxes. They have to live off what they earn, and that's a big challenge. And to be honest, I also, for some adults, this could be very useful as well. I think it's always good in family, or if you're in a couple, to talk about money, especially when there are kids involved and maybe one person starts working less and earning less. to have the interest, the transparency on the income and on the budget, what we can afford, what we cannot afford. I have touched on the pension system. I think it's also really important that people understand how the pension system works, when you should start saving for your pension. And spoiler alert, it's very early as possible, and what to expect out of it. And also when I talk to my friends, but also from the statistics, I noticed that women rely very much on men in the families when it regards to financial management or management of their finances. And I think it's good to say somebody's responsible for one part of the task and somebody's responsible for the other part of the task. But there are some basics like having transparency over the family budget that need to be fulfilled. I also tell all of my friends, all the women, but also men, please make sure you have your own bank account with your own money on it. If something happens, if your partner dies and you only have the common account, many people don't know that this account will be frozen for several weeks. That means not only you have the big pain of losing your partner, you also have no access to the family money. So these are things that are really important, and people need to know that. So you see, I'm very passionate about this topic. I could talk about it for a long time.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. And actually, Andrea, maybe a teenager like our kids doesn't care about pension and retirement. This is something which kicks in your 40s. At least that was my experience. On the other hand, we researched a bit on Mind Healing, the mental health association we have founded in Switzerland, and we have noticed that one of the biggest stressors for teenagers and youth is financial insecurity. So I can't emphasize more how important financial education is in schools. Binci, I think you wanted to ask something.
Yes, because I was very happy that you said that it's mostly women who then are left out about their finances. This is absolutely true. And this is very, very important, not only if a man, for example, the husband dies, but what if they separate? What if, all of these things. So a woman from the start, she really needs to have her own bank account, as you said before. And this education is, I go with Mirela, is important at school, but it's important also at home, because I was told all these things by my mother, who even, she's now 83, back then already had her own bank account. And she said, you have to be always independent. You never know what happens. And so I wanted to stress that and say I'm absolutely with you with these points.
Absolutely. And I think it also helps and takes a lot of pressure off the man, right? To share this responsibility. If both know what's the budget and maybe both contribute to the income at some point in time, then if they take the decision jointly, then there's no discussion about what we can afford or not. And I think it's very beneficial for the entire family, actually.
Absolutely. It is a topic for the whole family and not only in school. So I can't agree more. Coming back to another topic, that's provocative one. Equality between men and women. We are obviously not equal physically. We have different qualities, different strengths. However, we both believe in equal opportunities. Would love to hear your perspective on this topic, Andrea.
Yes, well, as a woman and also as a mother of both son and a daughter, obviously I'm very passionate about it. And also about this topic, I could talk for a long time. I've made my experiences and this influences, obviously. I think if I look back in the past 15 to 20 years, there has been a lot of development, a lot of progress in the corporate working area regarding that equal opportunities. I think many, especially big companies, have recognized that women as a workforce need to be encouraged, need to be kept, need to be won and retained, and have done a lot about this. I think maybe the smaller companies, they are still on the way. If I look at how it developed in the society, I think there's still quite a long way to go. If I look at what it was expected of me as a working mother, of my friends, as well, actually all mothers are working mothers. I should say me as a paid working mother, of my friends, paid or non-paid working mothers. There are really huge expectations from the society. And there are double standards when it comes to measuring their performance compared to the fathers. So I think this is something that where there's still room for improvement, and everybody can contribute a little bit. You, Mirela, are contributing with the job that you have, but also being a role model and showing your daughter that it's possible to be an excellent mother and also to have a really good career. We are contributing also with AXA. We're trying to bring our contribution in the area of sports, that women and men are more and more equal there. So I think there's a lot of progress and of movement about that. I think it's also really important to stick to it, especially now with all the impulses, the negative impulses that are coming from the US. I think it's really important as an individual and as a company to stick to it and to stay these values. I do it for myself, obviously, but mainly for my children, because I would like, if my son would like to choose to stay home and to be a stay-at-home father, I would like him to have the opportunity to do that. If my daughter wants to do the same or wants to have a career and still be a very good mother, I would like her to have the opportunity and to have it maybe easier than women in our generation do that. So this is my biggest motivator, my son and my daughter.
And you have to be prepared because they are approaching teenage years. I know I speak from my own experience. You're not going to be the good mother now.
Don't try to ruin my mood. I'm in a good mood today.
I don't. I just had to face a small meltdown just before starting to record the podcast.
Hang on there.
Yeah, I'm hanging in here. No problem.
Yeah.
Andrea, coming back to AXA Switzerland and your role there, you mentioned that AXA Switzerland is a modern organization with several initiatives supporting women in sports and women as customers as well. Tell us more.
Yes.
How can a modern insurance company support women?
In actually a lot of ways, we can support women as an insurer with our product. So I was talking about the pension gap. We have products that are made for persons with lower income, because many women work part-time, that allow them to still save for their pension. We can do something as part of society. This is what we do with our sponsoring activities. We've been sponsoring women's football for 5 years now. Football is a sport where there's a huge difference between the appreciation and the opportunities that women have compared to men. I don't know. I'll just give you an example. I don't know whether you heard the news. I think it was almost a year ago when Aisha Lehmann, who is a really well-known Swiss female football player, she and her boyfriend changed clubs. They both went to Juventus Turin. Then there was several big articles in the media, and the title was "Lovey-Doveys" or "Love couple are switching club." But if you look deeper into that, she was switching for 50,000 euros and he was switching for 50 million euros. And this is where the role of media comes in. Nobody was talking about, is this guy, I don't remember his name, apparently he's famous. Is this guy 1,000 times better than her? Is this really a fair price for changing? Everybody was talking about the lovely couple who will move and is happy about it. Nobody was talking about this inequality in this move. So this is something that really, again, maybe part of the culture, but should be changing. And this is what we're trying to do with AXA, that we start the conversation about it, that we support women's football, that it has more coverage in the press and becomes more attractive for sponsors, and then can attract more investments for women so they can better train and they can have better salaries and live off these salaries. And hopefully at some point in time when they change clubs for a similar amount as their boyfriends. So this is the second pillar. And obviously we are also an employer. We have more than 5,000 employees, and we have been focusing on winning and retaining female talents. And we have a number of measures that we focus on. So for instance, in recruitment, we adjust the job postings all jobs are posted part-time as well. The formulation is made in such a way that women respond more to that. And since 1 year, we have had in the most important positions, it has to be 50-50 on the shortlist. So we want to have the same number of female as male candidates on the shortlist. We support female talent, for instance, with mentoring programs. And we also offer coachings for parents, or for young parents or the ones becoming parents, that help them organize their lives after they become parents, right? And we offer this. So for instance, if you, Mirela, are pregnant with your first child, it could also be your second one, obviously. You can have a coach where your husband comes, even if it doesn't work for AXA. And then you have a talk about how you want to organize it, how everybody will work, how do you divide the divide. So we don't really want to intrude into people's personal lives, but we think with such a measure, we trigger the dialogue within the family about that, and we show there are different possibilities that people are prepared for life with children. Last but not least, 40% of our executive board are women now. So with every decision we take, there's a female perspective in that, and you feel it in the discussions. You feel it in the decisions, and it has kind of a halo effect for the rest of the organization, I think.
That is wonderful to hear. And to be honest, I criticized for a long time women quotas because, as you know, we both come from Romania, and there we didn't have women quotas, but we were very much used to see a woman CEO. It was nothing extraordinary. And once I went to Germany 12 years ago, I learned about the women quotas. Can we create a world where you don't even need that? But apparently imposing some women quotas and communicating more about this topic brought us to the moment when you have 40% of executive board at AXA Switzerland composed of women, which is wonderful.
Yeah, I must say many of the measures that we have also not only benefit women, benefit men as well, right? So if we talk about flexible work arrangements, that we have a lot, we're pretty progressive on that. Not only women, mothers benefit from that, obviously, also fathers, but also people who have different other commitments, like maybe they have to take care of a parent, or they have hobbies and they want to be flexible in their work, so they benefit that as well. So there are many things that are for everybody, not just for women. You know.
And that's what a modern workplace looks like.
I wanted to come back just for 1 sec, and because I have not long ago been at a meeting where there were 2 ex-female football players talking about their careers. They were both Swiss and both playing for the Swiss national team, so very good. One of them said that she didn't even earn enough to pay for her train tickets. Just listen to that. And 50,000 francs would have been fantastic for her, I think. And the other one, she was a goalie with soccer or football and in ice hockey. And with both, and she was very successful in both. And with both incomes, she could then go and study at university. Just to show how much more women sometimes really have to do. This is absolutely incredible to me.
I fully agree, and I could. I don't think it's much better now, because you said it's former players. Most of the professional football players have a job, like 80% or something, which of course takes time and energy away from training.
Many women work. Say that one of these 2, she was working 100%.
Yes,
and in the evening she was going to play or to the training. Plus, on Saturdays, there were the big games. It was only Sundays that she could rest.
Yes, so many work 80% because otherwise they cannot afford it. Most of them do not have the conditions to train, like access to infrastructure. The boys' teams have have priority before them as grown-up players in a club. They do not have physiotherapists. They have no support. And then, of course, it's difficult to get to a level that would make the football playing more interesting. This is why companies and sponsors have, almost they are compelled to do something against it. So if they come with funds, then they should insist these funds should go into women so they can play, they can focus on playing, they can focus on getting better. And then the game becomes more interesting, then more people come to watch it, and then more sponsors will come, and then the club sees, it's worth investing into these women. So it's like breaking the cycle and making it a spiral that goes up. That's really important. And I must say, we do see a lot of progress. So at the AXA Women's Super League Cup, which has taken place end of March this year, we have had almost 9,000 people coming to watch. And maybe 5 or 6 years ago, the stadium was almost empty. And we have had really like the fans, the hardcore fans, like making a big gallery. And there was a really nice mood in the stadium, and people were enjoying it very much. So every year we see progress. Yeah.
Plus, there is the European Championship, which will take place in Switzerland. And I really hope for these women that there will be a lot of spectators.
Yes, I'm so happy you addressed it, Binci, because I didn't want to address that as well. I didn't want to make too much advertisement for AXA, but we are a main sponsor of the Women's Euro. Takes place in our homeland. All the AXA European countries have gathered together to support this tournament. By the way, it's the first time that the Women's Euro has been set up as a professional tournament. In the last years, it was like a junior or preparation tournament, which means the UEFA has the first time put all the resources into this tournament as they put in a men's tournament. And the tickets have been sold really, really well. So out of the 700,000, I think we're at around 550,000 sold tickets now. Like the really good venues like Zurich and Basel are already sold out. So we're really happy with the current status. And of course, I'm looking forward to that. It's one of the big highlights this year for us. Yeah.
That is great to hear. And seems that my daughter has a brilliant future because she just joined the local football club.
Amazing. Well, yes.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully if she's really good, then she can live off playing football.
Don't say that.
Well, then she can still play football and become an influencer. So that's the second
Exactly.
part.
She can become an influencer. Actually, the part no teenager likes is training consistently twice a week. This is where we have a bit of a problem, but it's amazing to hear. And by the way, when she enrolled to the football club, most of my friends ask me, why football? I mean, that's not for ladies. Oh, yeah, it is. I'm not going to restrict my daughter to do only the girly, pinky stuff. Exactly what you said a bit earlier. Andrea, it's been a huge pleasure discussing today with you, not only because you are my friend, but also because we want to promote women in the Broker News podcast. And we hope to hear from you soon. And we hope to write more about AXA as well, and also to publish more content about AXA, because what you do and your initiatives are the hope we need. And I strongly believe insurance industry has a moral duty to promote women, to promote diversity, and to create solutions that are inclusive for everyone in society.
Thank you so much for the invitation. It was a pleasure.
After such beautiful words, Mirela, I don't think there is anything else I can add.
Thank you for listening. We will come back with more episodes of the Broker News podcast.